SwitchBladeJay, one of the casters off at epicLAN, has been doing it for a while, one of our more experienced people that we have here. So as part of the whole meet the team experience, Jay, what does your role entail as part of being a caster? Because you do seem to have to look after some people a little bit, like blend them in, shall we say. So yeah, describe what your role entails.
As a caster, it's basically my job to add a commentary style of thing to the broadcast itself. Obviously, you can't just have a game and just a game. It doesn't quite feel right if you don't have a voice sort of walking you through the plays and the strategies. So it's kind of my job to kind of do that. I generally tend to take lead on play-by-play, which is the style of commentary where you just describe play by playing. And I've gotten quite talented at it over the years. I've been a play-by-play caster for 2 years, but I do dip in and out of colour casting when and where I can. This LAN probably going to be less so because we've got 2 colour casters for us here, Critical and Dream, who've been absolutely on fire and on point with their colour analysis. It's just been perfect for me to work with, and it makes my job in particular so much easier as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think by this point then most people within the UK scene are starting to obviously know who you are. You've casted a lot within the UK scene now. With regards to epicLAN, you've been coming since epic19. Would you say anything's really changed that much from when you your first event to now in terms of how you are casting, in terms of the quality of casting? Are you more comfortable now?
I think on a personal level, I've been recognised a lot more as the epicLANs have gone by. Epic19, I was kind of a bit of a nobody. I was very, very green to the scene. I was new. I was my first ever epicLAN, my first ever BYOC as a caster. And when I was brought on, I was the only caster, and from there, I started to get recognised a little bit. People kind of knew who I was because they had seen me in and around the place doing stuff like UK CS:GO. But as every epicLAN has gone by, I've met guys like B-Magic and Pommy and Snods, and generally when I walk around the LAN hall, I see the guys from CEX have a nice little chat just over a drink, just very quickly because they're probably busy with their own matches. But it's quite nice for me on a personal level to see sort of people just recognising me, because it's something that has kind of ramped up over the course of the year that I have been working with epicLAN. But on a more professional level, I've noticed that these tournaments just get much, much more efficient to run every single time, and it's well credit to the admins, well credit to the staff, that have been running the tournaments. It's just been absolutely perfect, from the word go. I mean, we're about an hour behind at the moment, which is standard for BYOC LANs in the UK, but that's better than most other ones. It's not like Epic19 where it was a case that halfway through the group stage we were still 5 games that were behind where we actually should have been.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I mean, personally, one of the things that you see within the casting world quite often is a lot of people have the duo partner essentially that they cast with quite repeatedly. Here at Epic, it changes quite a lot, right? You're always kind of put with someone else, maybe someone that's newer into the scene, or maybe people like in today's scenario with Critical coming in, very experienced person, but not really been around the casting scene too much. So explain what that's like for you. Do you enjoy coming up with these new casters, giving them a chance? Is there any difficulties with it?
With duos, I've never really found myself lumbered into any particular partnership with anybody else. Mainly just because me as not only as a caster but as a person, I tend not to click very well with people. I gel. I have a good time. I have a great laugh. I make some really nice connections with people. But I don't think I ever really click with a person on that kind of a thing. So I've never had sort of I don't know whether to call it the luxury or the lumber of being in a specific duo, but it's always nice to sort of chop and change and have different partners, because it gives new experiences, and especially this LAN in particular, it's going to be quite exciting working with Dream and Critical and Scrib as well. I hope to get a cast with Scrib in at some point. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It really is, and it is fun. Just not to have that sort of restriction against you, because I've done many a cast with many different people. From people who used to not do any casting before, like when I did Pommy and Snods back at Epic19, Epic20, and all the way down to the guys who I'm really good friends with, the likes of Flakes and John Allen, who are really good casters of their own right. It really is exciting to try find those new duos, and it really is nice to try and find the chemistry, because when you do find that chemistry as well, when it comes naturally, it's just, as a caster, it's just the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I definitely think the good thing with Epic is it does give a platform for newer casters to come in as well and be able to expand their portfolio, or at least get a taste of casting to see whether it's something they do enjoy, and at least be partnered up with someone like yourself who's got a bit more experience behind them and can help them out in those scenarios. We'll move on to the final and the best question of it all. What is the biggest reason for you why you enjoy coming to epicLAN? What makes it stand out? Why do you
was asked this question actually at epic20 for another media piece for the epicLAN YouTube channel, and my response was, and it still is, epicLAN. Like, you know, it's just such a nice, friendly environment to have people who are really passionate about the games, who are really, like, you know, enthusiastic about Counter-Strike and esports, and to be a part of that. You know, even if it is only a small part, you know, I mean, you know, I'm not the biggest caster in the world, I'm not paid for my position, but, you know, I make a part of the broadcast that is often valued and excited for, and, you know, I'm part of the family almost, and epicLAN just, they're so accommodating, they're so nice, and it's honestly just sometimes, like, well and truly, it is just the best, one of the best tournaments that I have had the pleasure of being a part of.
Well, that's great, thank you very much. SwitchBladeJay.